Up next, American energy independence. The president's so-called all of the above energy policies. Are you kidding me? We'll be talking about all of this with Joe Cannon, president of the Fuel Freedom Foundation. A shocking new claim from the president's senior campaign advisor. The president is prepared at great sacrifice to himself to amend the First Amendment of the Constitution. We'll see what the A-team thinks about that. What do you think about it? We're coming right back. The Obama administration busy. Yesterday, the president tried to downplay his record as a regulator-in-chief during his speech in Ohio. Yet the Obama administration's Environmental Protection Agency today announcing a new round of regulations on soot, a move the energy industry says could prove very costly. Joining us now is Joe Cannon, former Reagan EPA Assistant Administrator and President of the Fuel Freedom Foundation. Joe, good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me here.
Your thoughts on these new EPA regulations on a Friday?
Yeah, well, I've been away from the whole regulatory thing for quite a while, but I can say a couple of things about the regulations. So they have benefits, but they have costs. So no question about that. A number of areas in the country will be out of attainment with the PM 2.5 regulations. States then have to come into attainment, and that means more regulation on sources.
Everybody right now is listening to you say they're going to be out of attainment. They're going to have to come into regulation. They're scratching their heads like I am thinking, you know what? This just sounds like some more bull from the EPA, and I don't know that it's worth a darn. Because the EPA, I mean, they are out of control as far as most Americans are concerned. Our air is clean. The water is clean. Things have never been better, and they keep squeezing.
Well, PM 2.5 does have health consequences to it. But let me tell you the interesting thing about this that's very more problematic than you might think. A state is not an attainment.
I've got to do this because I want to get to energy independence. Tell me real quick.
Well, this is it. States to come into attainment with this program only have in their toolkit to go after stationary sources, factories. The biggest part of this problem is fuel from mobile sources, from trucks and cars. And the answer for energy independence actually ties very nicely into this because clean, cheap, abundant fuels that we have in America can replace gasoline and lower PM 2.5 emissions. So natural gas, ethanol even, methanol, those all have less of the precursors that lead to this PM 2.5. But the states can't control that. You've got
states can't control it. We can't control the EPA. We've got a president that's who's out of control. Here's the deal. I know smart guys like you wanting to get us to a different place in transportation. You look at the energy issue as between power generation and transportation. How are we going to get there?
Looking at the transportation part of this, which does connect to the EPA regulation, looking at the transportation part of this, you can convert existing vehicles for a very low amount of money to run on either natural gas or methanol, which is a liquid fuel, which comes cheaply from the vast amount of natural gas that we have available. Now, the reason you can't do that is because of regulatory impediments. Not necessarily malicious, it's just a fact.
Well, I don't care whether they're malicious or not.
Good.
And they're just primarily ignorant.
And so what you do is you go to EPA and say, look, let's figure out ways to make this abundant fuel available in cars. It's cheaper.
How about
and
power
cleaner.
generation?
Power generation is a separate issue from what we are at the Fuel Freedom Foundation. But the answer there is you have to look at, so how do you get electricity to your house? That's the big issue.
And 40% of that is coal right now. And we've got an EPA that doesn't seem to be too interested in divining a direction in terms of technology to make coal work.
There is a beyond coal. The question is there a beyond gasoline that's cheaper and cleaner? That's where we need to get.
All right.
EPA can play.
Well, we're going to continue this conversation. I hope you'll come back. Let's have a series of these talks, and you can get me straightened out.
Well, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe Cannon, Fuel Freedom. We're coming right back. And when we do, it'll be about President Obama and his latest wedge issue.